Every single person wants success, but almost nobody wants what success actually costs. They want the body, but not the 4 a.m. alarms. They want the bank account and the business, but not the 80-hour work weeks that it takes. They want the trophy, but not the 10,000 reps that nobody was there for to film. And here's the truth. Greatness isn't a goal, it's a full-time obsession. An obsession will beat talent every single time. And today I'm going to show you what that obsession actually looks like and what it really takes to achieve your goals. Because most of these gurus online, they're not telling you this part, right? They'll sell you the dream of making 10K a month, but not actually the work that it requires and that it demands from you. And to succeed, you need to take it a step higher. You need a delusional self-belief and the confidence that this is going to work out and there's no other way, right? There's no plan B. You wouldn't have these goals if you didn't believe that you could actually achieve them, or if you didn't have the potential to achieve them, right? So you need to achieve these goals. So by the end of the video, you'll know exactly what it takes. But the question is whether you're willing to pay the price that it demands. So let's take an example. Let's take David Goggins, for example. Right? Everyone knows who he is. So he ran 8 ultra marathons, 8 weeks in a row. That's over 100 miles per race. Broken feet, broken everything. And he did an ultra marathon, his first ever one with no training. He almost died, and a week later, he still ran a marathon. Now imagine if you could put that same level of work ethic, that same work ethic into your business and into your goals. Why couldn't you achieve it? And his rule was simple. When your mind tells you that you're finished, when you're done, right, when you know that you're done, you're only 40% of your actual capacity. And he calls that the 40% rule. And everybody stops at the first sign of pain. But Goggins, he built his identity, his entire identity of running towards that extra 60%. And that's what obsession is, not motivation. Because this doesn't fade. This obsession doesn't fade, right? And it's what gets you up before the alarm. And Michael Phelps is another example. He trained 365 days a year for 5 years straight. Now, if you put his number of gold medals against full countries, other countries, just one man, he'd still come out on top. One man versus countries, and he's still beating them. And that's 365 days a year. That includes Christmas, it includes his own birthday. And his coach, I forget his name, but he said that the reason wasn't just for fitness, right? It was purely psychological. It was all mental. Phelps knew that if he trained every single day without an exception, he'd walk into a race believing that no competitor that he could come across had worked harder than him. And that belief was worth more than any single training session that he did. And with that work ethic and with that discipline, success is inevitable. But you don't think you can make 10K a month working that hard? Phelps swam twice on Christmas morning every single year, whilst his competitors were resting and getting fat. But by the time he stood on the blocks at the Olympics, the race was already won in his head. He'd already outworked everyone in the building months before they even arrived. And that's what it takes. So he ended his career with 23 Olympic gold medals. And again, that's more than entire countries could win combined. And that's what obsession looks like. When nobody's watching, the work that you're putting in is what's going to get you the result in the end. And you have to be a winner. You have to show up early, stay late every single day, and work your hardest for an extended period of time, because that's what it takes to achieve your goals. That's what it takes to be a winner and to win. And I'm talking about straight hours, day after day, month after month. And that's the days that nobody sees, the mornings that nobody's there to clap for. And that's the part that people skip, right? They want the highlight reel for themselves. They want the appraise, but they don't want the 5 a.m. sessions in the dark, alone, with no camera out, no one there to see what you're doing, nobody knowing what you're doing, right? Without the crowd. If you want something real, whether that's a business, a body, the bank account, a skill, it demands the same thing from you. Not a good week, not a solid month, right, of doing this, but a relationship with the work that never switches off. Even if you're tired, you're bored, you're unmotivated, you've got other plans, success never stops being a goal that you chase, right? And it becomes the lens that you see your whole life through. So every hour of your day, you're either moving closer to your goal or further away. It never stays still, but obsessed people know this. And that's why they don't need motivation, because discipline replaced motivation a very long time ago. And that's what it takes to win. That Michael Phelps work ethic, that Goggins work ethic is what it takes every single day, just being relentless at your goals, a relentless pursuit to your goals, spending hours every single day on your craft, reaching out to people, making offers, if that is in business. Now, if you want my help coming up with a 10K a month business, or if you have an idea and you just want to network with me, bounce some ideas off me, and if you want help applying this sort of work ethic or coming up with a plan where you could do we could come up with a daily plan for you to apply, right, to get to your goal, whatever that goal is, then I'd love to talk to you on Instagram. So my Instagram handle will be in the video, but also in the bio, where you can reach out and follow me. And I'd love to talk to you and see what work you're putting in, what your goals are, and how far off you are, right? And I'll be honest with you, whether the work you're putting in matches the goal.